Welcome to the Digital Brand Builder Podcast, where we bring you the best growth strategies from the world's experts to help build your business fast. And now, here's your host, Mark Fidelman.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Digital Brand Builder Podcast. Today, joining me is Arman Ananian, and we're going to talk about something we haven't done before, which is influencers and ads. And in this particular example, we're going to start with is an influencer. I believe he's part of a law firm. We'll clarify that in a second. That is using organic and paid media and I assume paid social. Arman will clarify that for us to promote them and their business. So with that, Arman, welcome to the show.
Hey, Mark, it's a pleasure to be here. Excited to talk and provide value here.
Excellent. So, Arman, let's get a little bit of your background so that people know where you're coming from.
Absolutely. So, I started doing paid ads and getting to an online world in 2016. And, that was, running ads and doing social media posts for my brand, myself, and really the inflection point for me came, when I, started to become better on my craft and be able to help way more businesses, stuff like that, was in 2019 when I got the chance to work in Grant Cardone and Frank Kern's advertising agency. And then that's where I took over, a lot of clients, from all different niches, to do, Facebook ads, Google ads for them. And that's where, learned a lot, helped a lot, and, really became, you could say, decent at this.
All right. Excellent. Well, that's a good background to have. So let's just start. First of all, can you introduce, and you don't have to use names you don't want to, but introduce the type of client, the client that we're going to talk about today that's got a large following and uses paid media.
Yeah, this client has a law firm. I just because I haven't asked him if I could use his name, we're not going to mention it. But if I find out that we can, maybe we can do this after and give some links so people can maybe better picture, who we're talking about. But law firm, specializes with immigration. And this is all about helping people who are business owners that want to move to the US get here. So of course you have to be everywhere on all social platforms. You have to advertise as well. You have to get quality leads, because it's a lengthy process. People take a lot of time to decide this type of thing. So we want qualified leads that want to act now. So, it takes a little bit of, refining to get to that point. Yeah.
Okay. And then when they were thinking about building, there's not many law firms I know of that have built a large following. What was going through their minds when they thought, let's become social media influencers? Either for fame or maybe they're more insightful in order to monetize the practice a little bit by, grabbing an audience or getting an audience and then monetizing that audience. So did they walk you through why they did it and how they did it?
I cannot tell you exactly, Mark, honestly, but, this is a niche that is very, very organic driven in a lot of senses because people outside of the US, they want to be updated, whether it's Trump or Biden in the office, things change, right? So people are always searching for, what is the best situation for me? I'm an entrepreneur or, I want to start a franchise or this, that, the other. So natively, I don't know who got first into YouTube, but you'll see this, right? If someone is living outside of the US, considering something like this, you'll see that I would say 90% of them, they are all in YouTube. So I don't know, I'm not sure who started first, but one clear step that always brought leads to people, to our client and to other people in this industry was providing helpful videos on YouTube, and they went from there. They started building the brand from there.
Okay, and that's, by the way, for everyone listening, that's how I did it. I started with Twitter, built a large following on Twitter, and then realized it was difficult to monetize, and then switched over to YouTube, which is a lot higher bar, do it well with video, but some of those videos still drive leads and sales for me. And I know my clients because I've done lots of shows and plenty of videos for my clients. Very valuable to go that direction. So happy to see a law firm of all people do it. I don't see a lot of law firms doing it, and I think it's a big miss. But so let's continue. So they built up this large following, and then how did they decide to use paid media, and what did you do for them?
Absolutely. So there were multiple avenues that they tried, and one of the things that always happens, there are some people that know Facebook ads or Google ads, but then there's somebody who does it all day, right? So to get started, it's good to maybe set it up yourself if you're the business owner, or have someone, maybe your tech guy, set them up, get started, because you can get some movement. But there comes a point where that you're spending a decent amount of money, and you cannot just oversee it constantly, and that you could get better results. That's when you consider other options, like maybe an agency. So that was the point where I happened to cross paths with the owner, and we strike a conversation just like that. Hey, Arman, well, turns out my guy, it's not really specializing in Facebook ads. And, and I was like, yeah, well, this is what we do for a living, actually. And that's how the conversation started, and how we started working, because I was able to show him what we were doing for other people. But Mark, any other questions that I forgot to answer from there?
If they're on YouTube, you're doing Facebook ads or are you doing YouTube ads?
Great question. So they are right now starting YouTube ads, okay? But why did we focus on Facebook ads? So yes, the answer is Facebook ads. Yeah, and I can tell you why.
Yeah, tell me why. Tell me.
He's getting, of course, a lot of organic traffic coming to his site from YouTube, from TikTok. We can talk about that. YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook group, et cetera. But all these people, once they go to the site and they don't fill the form or don't request information, they're gone. And what we do with Facebook is it's like a totally different platform that they're not using with ads. And now we're using ads, and everybody is, either on Facebook, Instagram, or, the rest of the audience networks that Facebook controls. We're bringing those people back, closing them, and getting them through an optimized funnel. So their results are way bigger than if they just did YouTube. We're just covering a whole new world with it.
So on the YouTube side and on the Facebook side, how do you decide how to take the videos that are made and then turn them into ads? Walk me through that process.
Yeah, good question. So, depends on what is the purpose of the video. We usually have two things. We either have a branding campaign or we have a conversion campaign. So branding, we do this for, building trust with the prospect and not necessarily selling them at the first ad. We do this for, again, creating confidence, putting helpful videos, etc. So, and then there is the pitch video. So depending on your purpose, for him, we have those two videos in place, those two type of videos in place. If we're doing conversion, the videos are shorter, more to the point, more like, hey, this is, fill this form out, this is what we do, this is how we can help you, fill the form out, right? Sometimes we use something like props so that people, like a pattern interrupt in the ad, so people can pay attention the first seconds of the video, which is important. And then that's video type number one, which is for conversion to get results. Then video number two, or video type number two is the branding ones. Those are longer, 3 to 5 minutes, maybe 7 minutes, and these are explaining common, questions. So, for example, it could be an FAQ. Well, how do I know when I'm ready, or what are the requirements for this? So answering common FAQ questions gets to position yourself, or in this case, the client, as an authority for new people. That's the key thing, for new people. So we are always excluding people that already know this person, this client, and we're purposely only showing the ad to new people. So to these new people that are coming, there's a constant inflow. We have branding videos to get them, quote unquote, indoctrinated into the brand, and then walk them through the conversion funnel to get them to, work with us.
Okay, so if I'm hearing this correctly, you create legal content, maybe that's solving problems, and then other legal content that's maybe more branding, and then you're using those strategically on Facebook and YouTube in order to do what? Drive leads? Do they fill out a form?
Yes, they fill out like a form to find out if they're qualified and what visas they could be qualified for. So depending on there's some without going into a lot of detail, not to bore people. If you have a lot of money, you can just drop that money and get like a green card. If not, you kind of have to go like a startup business owner route, which is different. So again, that's a form where we see how we can best help the person. Yes.
Okay, so that's an interesting way of doing it. I think a lot of people do it similarly that know what they're doing. So that's a good concept, especially if you're answering like a question somebody's searching for on Google or YouTube. How do I get a green card? If you had a video that kind of explained it and said, oh, by the way, in the ad itself for $500, you can get it done with XYZ law firm. That might be something that would be very valuable, especially when you take them to a landing page. They have to fill out the information, and then you can pre-qualify him or her right then and there, and then send it off to a salesperson? Is that part of your funnel? Is you send it to a salesperson if it meets a certain criteria?
Correct. This gets connected to number one, a value email sequence list where, we talk about, some case studies of successful previous clients, value tips, et cetera. And then at the same time, it goes to the sales team, and sales team calls with the information on hand and talks to them to get them closed.
Okay. And then do you have different funnels that they drop into? One where you talk to a salesperson, one where there's a drip marketing campaign that's launched after that?
It's, right now, Mark, everything comes from that specific application form. So after that form is filled out, path number one, they get subscribed to the email sequence. Path number two, it goes to the sales team, So it's all comes from that point. Mark, but one thing I also wanted to add, I didn't get to answer that question about the video content. So it's the difference between the two types of videos is one video is a pitch, or like mostly pitch based content. Okay, that is for people that know us already, that they know, like, and trust us. They just need a little push to fill the form, and so we can help them out. The branding videos are just covering a topic. We don't we're not necessarily getting them to the form just yet. We're just providing value and setting expectations for following things to come. Maybe it's a different video. And then after we build out enough the person with showing them many videos in sequence, then we show them the other video that pitches the thing,
Okay, got it. So if you have an influencer that's got a large reach, are there any benefits to that, to paid media? Meaning, okay, you could do this for any video that I could do a legal video. You could do the same exact media push. What are the advantages to have a large following or being an influencer as part of that ad?
Mark, the advantages that I see are a lot of times using the data that organic is getting you to prioritize X content over something else. So for an example, this client has, I think I would have to tell you exactly the number, but more than 300 videos for sure. And some videos go better than others when they're posted organically on the channel. So what we do is when we have to choose testimonial videos that we use for retargeting, right? So for example, going off a tangent here, but if you want to really convince someone to fill out a form, you show them a testimonial, right? But if we have to check all the testimonials, we sort them out by views, and that usually implies that the organic people that are mostly qualified are preferring a certain video over the other. So we take that information and put it back into ads. So that is an advantage that they have of having a larger following. They can understand, they can take a lot of data from their existing audience to use for ads. They don't have to start from zero, from scratch. Just like a new lawyer maybe is in town and they want to get started with ads, they don't have that advantage, for example.
Well, that makes sense. Also, I'd probably add that, them pushing the video themselves independently and more organically, I think will drive some organic branding and lead development just on its own. So it's a lot less expensive overall to do it. Now, it also, I think, with an ad that somebody's seen before, when you get into retargeting, if you have an influencer that's well known, the ad has higher credibility as well, even though it directs back to their own law firm. If they've got some celebrity and they've got some, let's say, a lot of visibility, the credibility, this has been researched over and over again, the credibility is a lot higher with their target audience, with the influencer's target audience. So, wrapping everything up, so is there anything else in terms of influencers and ads that you think people should know about? Good
question. I would say use it, and it sounds very primitive and basic, but one of my other clients, they have I think 30,000 followers, so they're not that big. That's a brand. That's not a personal brand, but a brand in Instagram. And we were deciding, well, what box should we use? Because they're shipping cookies. So what is the design that we should use? What is this packaging that we should use? And they went ahead and they asked, and we got the direct answers, and so that's number one. That's a very clear example of something we did. We got information of what already our built-in audience would like. So our ads are going to be more data-based, and we can get better results. One other thing is content, right? You see this a lot in YouTube. A lot of big YouTubers are asking, what do you want me to talk about next, right? So this is, again, for organic, but it also comes back to ads. If you enter in someone's mind with a conversation they're already having. So let's say that Biden just revoked some of the Trump policies on immigration. Okay, this has just happened. Well, that's going to be on the mind for people who really want to, let's say, move to the U.S. If my lawyer talks about that, now he's entering in a conversation that's already happening in the client's mind, way more easy to get their attention. So the one way to get that information is ask your audience what they want to listen, what they want to talk about. Then you can, either use it on organic, but at the same time use that for paid. All right. Well, that makes a lot of sense. You do way more than just influencers and ads, don't you? So wrapping it up, can you tell people, what your firm does and how to reach you? Absolutely. So we focus on Facebook and Google advertising for businesses, and they can reach us at rfmedia.com. That's our agency, our advertising agency, and they can also get a free ebook, called "How to Get Exceptional Results with Your Advertising." We'll also link it somewhere below, and it's like a step-by-step guide to, get better ads for your brand or yourself.
Well, Arman, thank you very much for appearing on the show. And if you want to reach out to him, it'll be in the show notes. And Arman, with that, thanks again, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks very much for having me. It was a pleasure.